Hi, Shelly here. Today I'm going to do a video talking about some of the things that I do with my gel prints. Just a few ideas. If you're interested in the stencils I'm using today, I'll have those linked below in my Pay Hip shop. I've changed into my painting clothes and I'm ready to get started. Most of my gel prints are done on deli paper, and that is what I'm going to be using today. I find for the different applications I'm going to be doing, I like backing them with white cardstock. There's a couple of different ways you can do this, and I'll show you the ways that I do it. This one I just happened to do in advance, and I just Mod Podged it on the back, put my cardstock, and then I Mod Podged on the front, so I have kind of a shiny surface ready to go. I like the colors I've got going on here, but I want kind of a focal point over the top of it. So I think I'm going to get my butterfly stencil. Because I have Mod Podged this in advance, I am going to tape this down to my work surface, which is wax paper, just to make sure it doesn't move around too much, because I think it will slide around on me with that Mod Podge surface. And then I'm going to take my little stamp, my word stamp, and I'm trying to work on that, and what's the other one I say all the time? The I hate saying all the time. So I'm trying to be aware of it, but boy, it's hard once you you're being recorded. I don't think you realize how often you say some things. I'm learning the hard way. I don't know if I need to turn these all in the way that the butterfly is going, but that's what I'm going to do. And I'm using my Stays On ink. And then next, I'm going to, what colors am I going to use here? Okay, now I'm going to take one of my daubers. Let's use the pink one since I'm kind of in that mode. And I think what I want to try, I found this kind of screen of some kind. I'm not sure where I bought it or why, but I'm going to take a little bit of that, and I like to get a bunch onto my dauber and then work it off onto the side or work it into the sponge. I don't want it globby coming on here. And then I'm going to go all over, stamp through the stencil. Oops. I really got it globby that time. It's hard to tell. Is it going through? Yeah, I have a few little spots there. I think if I was going onto paper, especially like one of my painted papers over here that did not have Mod Podge on it, I think it would work a lot better. Not going for perfection, just having fun today. Learning what works and what doesn't work, possibly. I hope to have some great successes, but we shall see. All right, now, and I'm not going to clean this. I'm going to set it aside, let it dry, and I'll just keep using it as I want to. I am going to hit this with my heat tool just to make sure it's dry really quick. Now I'm going to come in with my regular magenta and just hit it in a few spots. Let's see what we've got. Very pretty. We could really go nuts and outline each one of these and decorate each one of these. We could take a toothpick and some purple and add some dots. Which is as far as I'm going to take it. I'm not exactly sure which papers I'm going to use yet for what. I just wanted to get some of the ones that I liked but needed something. This one I want to go I don't want to make these too bright and crazy, but because I really like my green and blue background, but I just want to accent just a little something. Kind of wondering, what if I put a little bit more of my navy out, make it a little darker with some black. And then if I take a little bit of that navy, I don't want to glob it on. Ooh, that's fun. And let's see what we got. Oh, oh, I love it. Let's do some greens. I've got my Fern stencils. Now again, you could take a liner brush and your paints and finish off the stencil, and you could do all kinds of things, but I kind of want my background to be what it is, and I don't want it to look perfect. So I think I'm gonna leave mine just like it is. I like this one, but I feel like it's just not oomph enough. So I think what I'm going to do is put this stencil on top and do some more blue. It's kind of like gel printing. You're just not exactly sure what you're going to get till you get done. kind of on a butterfly kick today. All right, my first idea is just to take a cheap composition book that I bought at probably Walmart, and I just make notes when I see things or something comes to my mind that I think I might want to do something, an idea, or I see a technique done somewhere that I want to try. I put it in this book. So I thought it would be fun to cover this and with some of my deli papers. And I haven't decided which one that I want in the front and the one in the back. That, you know, you have limitations with the size. So I think what I want to do first is to cut off any edges that and I'll leave a little overhang so that I can tuck it on the other side. That's not going to leave any for the overhang. Yeah, I have enough overhang to do this one. Yep, I think I'm going to do this one instead. I've got my watered down Mod Podge. Just get a couple of baby wipes, wad them up, and just gently kiss all over. My next idea is making envelopes. And you can do this a couple of different ways. On my pay hip, I have several different envelopes that, the template for them. And you can cut those out. I cut these out with my scan and cut out of cardstock, okay? You can do that, or can cut plastic templates and just hand cut them out too. So that's another way you can do it. But it's super quick and easy to let your machine do it, and it's very accurate. I used my paper trimmer with my scoring blade, and then I just lined up my corners and scored my edges, and then they just fold right over. What you can do before or after, I just started before, was you can either, like I did the first sheet when I first started today, and you can use Mod Podge, and you can Mod Podge this onto your deli paper and then set that aside to dry, or your gel printed paper. Or you can do like I've done here, and I've got an adhesive on the back. And a couple of ways I've done it, I'll tell you a couple of ways I've done it, and what I prefer to do. The cheapest way is the Mod Podge. Okay, you cannot beat the Mod Podge. It's not the fastest, but it is definitely the cheapest way to go. Or regular white glue, watered down white glue would be great as well. But sometimes I don't want to mess with all that. So I have purchased these sheets from Amazon. I think I got 25 for $9. And they are a double-sided adhesive. So you undo one side, put your item down, and then undo the other side, and then put it onto your deli paper. It's a little bit messy, and they come in these, whatever this size is here. Is this it's not an 8.5 by 11, but it's really close, right? Yeah, it's about an 8.5 by 11. So, you know, you can only do so much. So if you're doing something like this, you got to do that. Then you got to cut a little piece to do it. My favorite way, but also a little more expensive, is the Xyron Creative Station. I love it because you open it up, you stick your, let's just do it real quick. Here's another one I've got ready to go, scored. Turn it this way so you can see it. You stick it right in here, and I want my adhesive on this side, so I'm going to stick that in. And then it's got a little handle here on the side, and I'm just going to turn it, and then you just run it through. When it gets out the other side, you push the bar down, cut across. Done. Now these cartridges are a little more expensive, and don't know if I'll do that all the time, but I do enjoy. I mean, it sure is nice and easy. I had the old Xyron, and I decided I was going to upgrade and get a new one because I don't have my old one kind of was broken, and I was limping it along, and it was time. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, let's see, which one do we want to do on here? This is my number 10 envelope. It's long and skinny. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start to peel away. And you know, with gel prints, you got to kind of look and make sure that you know you got it kind of lined out how you're going to get started. See if there's any bad spots you want to try to avoid. And I'm just going to get it very straight. All right. Now, hopefully you know that you can send any kind of decorative envelope in the mail. And I do. I like to do this kind of thing. And both of my boys live out of town, so I like to send them things in the mail still. Pictures, old pictures of them, and just with a little note from me to tell them I love them. And so just to make it a little bit more fun and exciting, I like to use my gel prints to make the envelopes. Now this is not something I think the average person is going to keep forever, so I'm not worried about it you know, I'm not worried about Mod Podging it and having it really preserved. I really don't care, okay? It's just got to survive to whatever town you're shipping it to. And I think it's going to do that just fine. Of course, my boys would have told me if they would have gotten there all torn up and messed up. Okay. And then once you get it cut out, then you just fold in your sides. Put a little glue here on the bottom part, and then you can fold it over, and then you've got your cute little envelope. My bookmark and my little composition book are dry, so now I'm going to, and see, this comes right off the wax paper when you're done. This is the side that's completely done because it's got a nice sheen on it. And I'm going to now turn it over and put a nice little coat on the other side. Tap it all over to make sure that got the same texture all over. And then now I will flip this over, or move it over here to a, I'm having trouble talking today. Move it over here where I don't have so much goop, and let it dry over here. And that will ensure that I don't have a bunch of raised weird edges on it. If this was something that I was going to give to somebody else, or I really, something very special to me, like if I was art journaling or something, I would probably take another print and cut it to here, fold it over, and then put a nice little cover on here and do the same thing on the front. But because this is like my notes and not a real important, I mean, it's important to me, obviously, because it has notes, but again, it's not important to me that it's all perfect and it's not special in a, yeah. So anyway, I'm not gonna do any more to this on the inside anyway. I don't know about the rest of it, but the inside I'm gonna leave just like this. You know what I'm going to do? I want to see if this is going to work. I'm going to put this in my scan and cut, and I'm going to scan this in just like this on the back side, and then I'm going to load my bookmarks in, 2 of them, and see if I can get my machine to cut this out. That would be fun if it would work with the Mod Podge surface and everything. All right, it looked like it worked great, so let's take it off and see. I did have to put masking tape all along the top because the deli paper kind of came up as very thin up there. And my machine was having a little bit of trouble when I first tried to scan it in. But, I mean, not sure why it didn't cut out my holes, but that's okay. I have a hole punch that we can make that work. So that worked great. That's something to remember. So Mod Podged on one side, cardstock and deli paper cut out beautifully. My blue one is ready. I used to be a big scrapbooker. still have a lot of supplies and use them. Although more for art and not as much for scrapbooking anymore. I've got my big crocodile. Really, you're not gonna see it, but I just want to reinforce my hole a little bit. I've also taken hole reinforcements, and yeah, that's good enough. Just to reinforce that hole a little bit. I've also taken the regular paper reinforcements, painted those while I'm painting my papers. I just go and put a little bit of paint on the reinforcements and then glue those right on, and that works as well. So now what I'm going to do is get a length of yarn, put that in half, stick my grab on and pull it through gently. And then I'll make that loop, stick the back threads through if I can. There we go. Okay, pull it through, cut them off. And then you can fluff as you would like, separate the fibers, whatever you want to do. But I think that's a cool little bookmark, and it works great for big and small books, and mine have lasted me years so far. So I hope you'll give it a try. All right, as I got to thinking about it, I'm thinking, why aren't I using, I've got 45 million pieces of scrapbooking cardstock. Why not use some of that to make my envelopes? So that is what I am doing. Making some coordinating ones. I am super embarrassed about my fingernails. They are getting worse by the minute. But I want to finish this video. All right, let me make sure everything fits. Oh, beautiful. Like I said, I hope you forgive me for my fingernails. Oh, that was one swipe. Boy, you got to be careful with that thing. I was wearing press-on nails for a long time, and I just love them, but they have ruined my nails. The way I was doing the glue made them last for 2 weeks, and it was amazing, but like I said, it's ruined my nails. So now I'm trying to put all kinds of layers and make them look halfway decent while they grow out and get healthy again. So I'm sorry that you have to deal with the ugliness. All right, now I'm going to take my advanced tape doohickey. Thanks for coming along with me today as I've tried to show you some of the cool ways I use my gel prints. I hope you'll try some of these ideas, and I'd love to hear some of your suggestions of what you do with your gel prints if you want to leave a comment below. And I hope you'll join me next time. Bye for now.